Hi Veda lovers, hi Veda lovers. Today we're going to talk about the ninth mandala. Yes, and before talking about the ninth mandala, I'm going to talk a little bit about the 10th, because the 10th was added after the others in the compilation of the Rig Veda. The last compilation, because I think it was at least 3 compilations. The first was family books, very old stories with many fights, many war, and this happened in old time, maybe to 4000 BCE, or maybe much more, maybe 8000 BCE. Not 8000, 6200 BCE. But maybe you'll see it in my book when it will be published by Parimal, the Seven Rivers Civilization. So the 10th mandala was added later, not very much later, because the Sarasvati was still flooding, but the Drishadvati was not flooding. So the Sarasvati was low, I guess. It was no more the big river like a lake. It was maybe probably a little bit lower, because the Sarasvati had 2 main tributaries, the Drishadvati and the Shutudri, the Sutlej. The Shutudri was, I guess, still flooding in the Sarasvati, and the Drishadvati was receiving the Yamuna, and the Yamuna is not a small river; it's a big one, and all that was finishing into the Sarasvati. An earthquake made the Yamuna go on east, and the Drishadvati dried up, because without the Yamuna it was not just a small river, and with the monsoon was a bit fucked up. It was not good. It was a very hard time. The people were feeling that if the river, which is a goddess, Sarasvati, which is a goddess, if the river, which is a goddess, is going low without one of these tributary or her tributary, so maybe it's the beginning of the end. That's what they thought. So they did a big compilation, including the 10th mandala at the end of the 9th first, and giving explanations to us, like the Nadi Shukta, like the hymn to the Purusha with the Varna, and many others, and you can see that there were no more Soma. They start doing kind of segregation, because the Shudra could not drink Soma, but they could do it before. Before this problem. This 10th mandala was added at the end. If you take off the 10th mandala, you have the compilation which was used during the mature phase of the Indus Valley, Sarasvati civilization, Harappan, call that as you want. I call that the Seven Rivers civilization. Why the mandala, the 9th mandala was so important? Because it was the last one at this moment, because the 10th was not added already. It was the last one of this compilation, oral compilation. Of course, it was not written. And it's only dedicated to Soma. There is not other god in this mandala. It's only to Soma, from the beginning to the end. No hymn to Agni, no hymn to Indra, no hymn to Shas, no hymn to others. It's only Soma. So, what can you think? It's because it has a it was very, very important for this civilization, the god Soma. If you look into the other mandala, you will find very few hymns addressed to Soma. Very few. They all are in the 9th, and the 9th mandala has 114 hymn. Yes, 114, and these hymns are done with the whole families. And from all these times, very old or very recent, or it's just into Soma, nothing else important. Well, why? Because Soma, I told you, it was entheogenic plant. It's called, that we call now a psychedelic plant. It helps you in your brain to reach the enlightenment. So it was very important in the life of the society, because all the masters of the house, Satpati, Ugriyapati, they all had to drink Soma, and at the end of this civilization, before the shortage of Soma, between 2700 BCE till 200 to 2000 BCE, 2200 BCE. Sorry. At this time, at this date, 2200 BCE, it was a big drought on the earth, everywhere, even in USA, even in Africa, everywhere, big drought, and that kills Soma. And soma was a mushroom, and if you don't have water and humidity and wetness, you have no mushroom. That's not difficult to understand. So before that, soma had a very huge importance in the civilization, because all these satpati or grihaspati had to masters of the house. And means people who had not no money, because the money was not already created. But they had cows, they had lands, they had horses, they had many things. So these people has also power. If you are rich, you have power. So if you have power, you run the civilization. Maybe not yourself, but you say to the rulers of the civilization, "Hey, you do that because I am rich and I can do. I tell you, you have to do." It's exactly the same now. Look at what happens in the USA and everywhere, in France. So the rich people have the power, and rich people have the power, and if their mind is fucked up, you have a civilization completely war, completely wrong, with war, with battles, with murders, everything. Colonization. So, with in the Vedic sacrifices, you had some many sacrifices, where people were drinking soma. This satpati, grihaspati, masters of the houses, had to do it at least once a year. It was a sacrifice called Agnistoma. You can find an excellent book in 2 parts in French on forgottenbooks.com. So if you can read French, it will help, because they did a good job. It has been done at the beginning of the 20th century. When you drink this kind of products of plants, it's like LSD, which comes from rye, seigle in French. I don't know exactly the term in English. I think it's rye. You have many mushrooms. The different mushrooms. We have the psilocybe cubensis. I think which was soma, because it's long and thin, and it's described in Rig Veda. The soma is long and thin. But there are other mushrooms who do have almost the same effect. It's the difference is on the last, how long it lasts, the effect. With LSD, the effect lasts 12 years. With psilocybin, the effect is 6 years. 6 hours. 6 hours. Sorry for my English. And LSD 12 hours. 12 hours. It's a good. You have time to do that. In the Vedic sacrifices, they drink 3 times during the day. Once at the sunrise, one when the sun is just in the middle, and the last one was when the sun was going to sleep. So it's an experience which lasted at least 18 hours, around 18 hours. It can be a little bit less, maybe 17, but so it was very, 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 very important for the mind, because in this time you have all the time to understand everything. In 18 hours, that's really something. There were also other kind of sacrifices, like Jyotistoma and others with other names. Maybe shortest. The Agnistoma was lasting 5 days. The first days were to prepare the mind. During 4 days, you don't drink soma, you don't do anything, just repeating mantras and do all some rituals. 4 days, and eating only yogurt, and sleeping very few, and completely washed and shaved, and no beard, no hair, nothing. So the people were prepared for the last day of the sacrifice, the day where they drink soma. So the soma was very important because when you do that, when you drink these things, you don't want to do war. You don't want to looking for trouble. You don't want to be the king of the world. You don't want to be the cutest, the strongest, the best, the richest. And don't care. You just want to have a good life. And peaceful and cool. And look at look if you know the hippies during in the years 60 and 70. They were using a lot of psychedelic things, and never, no war, no, just make love, no war. So it was not the same, of course. In that mood. No warrior. We didn't find the archaeologists didn't find any weapon, war weapon, no army, no tracks, no violence, nowhere. Problems had happened much before, maybe many centuries or maybe millenniums before. But after, it was people cool, drinking soma, doing a good job, and having a good business too, because you don't spend all your money to destroy your neighbor. So the life was good, and till the end. The earthquake who dried up the Sarasvati, and the monsoon, everything that happened, and they had to change to leave this country and to change a little bit their life, because there were no more soma, and where there is no more soma, the ego comes back. Yeah, the problem is the ego. When you are rich and powerful, you have a big ego. You just watch the TV and see the leaders of the rulers of the all countries of the world now. They all have an ego like that. Pop, 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 pop. Watch what happens just these days. Trump and Macron, and they all have an ego, and they think, whoa, I am. Well, so the ninth mandala was the last of the compilation of the good time, when the time begin to change. They had the 10th mandala. C'est tout. I hope you understood what I say, because myself, when I look at my own videos, I don't understand what I say. That's the life. Thank you, Veda lovers, and next time I'll try to find another subject to discuss about. Hey, Kenavo, as we said in Brittany, it means goodbye. And next time, Jai Shankar.